Yeah, I want to give our guys a lot of credit for staying the course early in the game. We couldn't get shots to drop, and we couldn't get free throws to drop either. And the first part, I want to give Ohio State credit for that. I thought they had a really good, sound game plan. They were able to keep us out of rhythm, keep us in the half court, and so we were in a little bit of a sludge, and thank goodness our second unit and our fans really pulled us through tonight. I thought the energy in the building, it felt like a rivalry game. It felt like it meant something to the people not on the court, and so we're very, very grateful for that. I'd like to open it up for questions.
Chris, go ahead.
You talked about how the full court defense gave you a spark and really kind of got the offense going.
It did, yeah. Our energy level as a whole, and obviously there's certain lineups you can get more aggressive with, and there's certain lineups you can get more aggressive against. And I thought the timing worked out well, but our guys, they were able to really get out, extend our defense, and not give up anything on the back end. And so, yeah, that anytime you can do that and not get punished for it at all, it gives you some life.
And then you mentioned the actions, rebounds. Have you challenged him on that end?
Yeah, the whole staff. I mean, there's with our bigs, we've been a little bit disappointed in our offensive rebounding all year, just because we think we can be elite. We've been good. I mean, I think we're top 60 in the country out of 360, so percentage wise. But we just felt like we could be a top 10, top 20 offensive rebounding team if we really put our minds to it. And so, but I think the Yaks and those guys, when I thought all 5 of his threes looked good. They were online. They hit the back of the rim. They just weren't dropping. And I think in the second half, he just made a conscious decision to shot fake and drive it. And he has such ability around the rim to put the ball underneath the defender's arms, around him, whatever the case. He's slippery around the basket. So I thought he did a really nice job of being aggressive, attacking the rim. And when he's not in the game with Merez and Adai, there's even more space for him to do that. So it's another example of him being able to adapt to what the team needs at that moment.
Do you feel like they just tried to kind of slow it down, and teams are kind of doing that against you guys? And even, I don't know if Diebler would take it, but it feels like even the delay of games, like they were just intentionally trying to kind of chop the game up a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, our spurt ability is obviously something that we've been able to hang our hat on in the games that have gotten away from our opponents. But we're seeing it every game. We're seeing a lot of pass, late clock action. And we're trying to disrupt that. And I thought our guys did a nice job on Thornton when he was able to get in the paint. We were very disciplined on his shot fakes. We contested everything, and we were able to stay at home for the most part. Mobley obviously was really good, and Tilly I thought was aggressive and active around the basket, and obviously banks in a three, which challenges your defense with the die-in. But overall, just pleased with our defensive energy. Us figured out a different way to win.
Steve? See, I'm not sure if you were still out on the court when Trey Burke was with your player. He said national championship or bust. And he probably it sounds like maybe you heard about that.
I didn't know.
Okay. So that's what he said. And your thoughts on that and interacting with Trey while he was here?
Yeah, we had a chance to spend time with Trey last spring, and he's just such a good guy. Like, you could just tell there's a warmth to him. There's great spirit. And when you play the game as well as he did, whatever the case, and then you have that warmth and whatever that it factor is to you, you can see why he made his teams better, and he's able to continue playing ball. And he has such a great appreciation for this place, like I do, like our staff does, like our players do. So we're very, very honored to be representing the same thing that he represents and having him on our side, because our guys, he's young enough too, where our guys, they know him, they watched him, they were enamored with the way he played the game and what he was able to do. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, I grew up, and seeing Glenn Rice here scouting's pretty cool to me, being an older guy. But our guys all still know Trey Burke as a player, not as a former player.
Yeah, Dusty, and the media from over here, Yaks talked about, we were talking about the turnovers. He said we were so amped up in the locker room, maybe that had something to do with it. Is there a balance you have to strike for getting your team too fired up in a rival game? You got some big games coming up. How are you going to address that?
Yeah, he's right, and we just looked like we were out of sync and then the turnovers kind of spiraled. We looked more like we did last year at times with the types of turnovers. So yeah, there's myself as the head coach, I try not to make it bigger than what it is, because you still have to go out and execute, hopefully in our case, 80 to 90 possessions, and raw emotion doesn't do that for you. Like, we can generate the emotion from playing well and sharing the ball and running the floor and getting a putback, but just to have that emotion in the locker room, yeah, it's part of being excited to play, but it's not gonna get us to where we want to get to, that alone. And sometimes you make too big of a deal with all the other stuff as opposed to what's really important. And us controlling their big three was much more important than just talking about the meaning of a rivalry. That's obviously very important to beat Ohio for us and our fans, but how we execute is more important than anything.
Trey McKinney had some extended run the second half tonight. What do you like from his game today?
I thought he was really sound. He looked comfortable, and man, it's tough. You look at their guys, and I thought we were able to wear them down a little bit. They're playing 35, 36 minutes, their main guys, and because of our depth and because each game requires something different, our guys, they don't play that many minutes, and so you really have to make the minutes count. And sometimes young players think you have to score. And Trey's floor game, obviously he made a big three late. He made his free throws down the stretch, but he just looked really comfortable, and he was able to recognize a couple matchup advantages in our favor and take advantage of those. But he's just getting better. I mean, he's just such a good person who happens to be a guy that, you're just proud of all the things that he does on a daily basis. He works. He's a great teammate, and it is hard when you're playing well. Roddy Gale, same thing. He plays well, and then he doesn't play 35 minutes. It's the sacrifice of being on a team that's capable of doing what we're capable of doing.
On your right with Austin.
Dusty, Trey, and Coach Beeline were in here before the game talking about what it was like to be part of a special team and a special season. I'm sure it's crossed your mind that this could be one of those seasons for you guys. How do you sort of balance savoring that, appreciating it, but not getting caught up in it while you're in the middle of it?
I think as a coach, you just savor those things later when you're able to bring back groups of people that did something special together, that did hard things together, and then you're able to meet their wives and their kids and whatnot. Right now, it's on to the next thing. I mean, we have a monster week coming up. Monster 3, 4, 5, whatever, 7 weeks coming up. But this, just in being near, looking at the immediate future, Nebraska is one of the best teams in the country. And so it's going to be a challenge to get ready for that one. They're playing at a high level. So when you're getting ready to play Nebraska and Michigan State the following week, you don't have a lot of time to savor past performances, at least from my perspective.
Tony?
Yeah, Dusty. Elliott was quiet early on, but felt like his fingerprints were all over that separating run, a couple big threes, a couple pocket passes. Just how important is he to you guys reaching your ceiling and doing what you do?
Incredibly important. And part of that was the zone. Part of it, he was battling some foul trouble. He picked up 2 fouls in the first half, and they were putting 2 on the ball on his ball screens. They were trying to take it out of his hands. So that's also part of being a smart veteran player, that you take what the game gives you, and then you saw once the game loosened up, he was able to get in the pick and roll. He was able to, I think his 3 might have been off of Yax's. We made a big 3 off of Yax's offensive rebound. I can't remember if it was Elliott's. I mean, that play was gigantic. Because it just felt like that allowed us to continue the momentum that we were building. But yeah, I mean, we trust him as a shooter, we trust him as a floor general, and then defensively, he's such a pest. I mean, when he plays with discipline, he's as impactful as any guard in our conference.
Beeline earlier today said that the common thread he felt in his teams that went to the title was the guard play for a team that a lot of the headlines and the attention goes to the front court. I take it you feel that you have the guard play to do that.
Yeah, every team's built different. I mean, obviously, if one of our guards is the National Player of the Year, the guard play is very significant, right? I mean, but I mean, I think our front line has to be good. I think our guard play has to be exceptional. He's absolutely right. He knows, like, if Elliott and LJ and Trey and Roddy and Namari don't play well, we're not going to be a national title contender. But we're a pretty balanced group, and our guard play continues to improve. And the nights when the shots aren't going in, when we can find other ways to generate offense and generate good play, then we've got to keep just staying with it.
Ohio State played Puff Johnson for a few minutes tonight. I'm curious what preparation was like for him, and maybe your thoughts on teams adding impact players who are out of eligibility midseason.
We have no. We just talked about what he is. We played against him. We scouted him last year, so we knew him. We didn't know if he had been practicing since the summer, practicing in the fall. We didn't have those, I guess, internal questions answered. I don't have enough time to I guess, analyze everyone else's decisions and what's best for their program. I mean, the fact that there's 360 or whatever of us that are competing under the same umbrella is wild enough to know that I can't keep up with all that stuff. I can't imagine any scenario other than an emergency situation that we would do it, but that's kind of where we are. I mean, I think when coaches take a hard stance and then circumstances force them to change their minds, then they look like hypocrites. And that's something that I don't really want to do, but I don't have a strong opinion on it. We're not doing it, and that's all we can really control are the decisions that we make. When the courts come out and say everything that we've been doing is illegal, I'm also not going to sit here and say we need to do this and do that if it is in fact illegal. I'm not an attorney either, so I've always kind of been a company line stuff that I'm not that passionate about. I believe in our group. I love competing with them, and if someone adds a player, then that's their right as the coach or the administration, whatever. I'm just not up here to judge everyone else. So I think Coach Diebler's a very good basketball coach. I think they had a great plan. I think they're an NCAA tournament team, and they're going to win a lot of games, assuming Bruce is not too injured. They're tough out. So that's all I'm going to say about that.